This episode of FineScale Modeler's new product rundown features AMT's Razor Crest, AK's Toyota pickup, ICM's Beaufort, Revell's VW van, Academy's Jagdpanther, AMT's Hot Wheels cars, HobbyBoss's Scud launcher, Italeri's Ford Escort, and Revell's Horten.
New product rundown brought to you by Hobby Zone USA, your source for hobby storage solutions, hard to find hobby tools, and aftermarket modeling needs. And by Cult TV Man's Hobby Shop, the place to go for science fiction and fantasy kits, details, masks, decals, and more.
Welcome to New Product Rundown, FineScale Modeler's twice-monthly look at the latest releases. I'm Kendra Bell.
I'm Aaron Skinner. Let's kick off this episode with a much-anticipated kit. It's AMT's 1/72nd scale Razor Crest.
This ship was as much a character in the first two seasons of The Mandalorian as Din and Grogu,
to the point where I may have shed a tear when it met an untimely end.
The body of the vessel splits into a lower section and the upper deck with most of the cockpit openings. Surface detail includes recessed panel lines and raised features. An insert for the top gives realistic depth to features like the escape pod, and the fairing underneath for the main gear is separate with inserts fore and aft to refine the details.
Cockpit detail includes the floor, walls with molded equipment, bulkheads with molded doors, control consoles, pilot and passenger seats, as well as figures of Din Djarin and tiny Grogu in his hover pram. Although the rear and port ramps are separate and posable, there's no cargo bay detail.
The engines have four body pieces with a fan inside a two-part intake and a rear section with separate nozzles. Clear inserts are set up for lighting. The cockpit windows are designed to fit from the outside, which should help with the painting.
The cannons alongside the nose assemble from several parts for sharp scale fidelity. To show the ship on the ground, the kit provides detailed nose and main gear legs with detailed feet and doors. Optional doors allow for the gear to be posed stowed, and there is a sturdy black dome stand with metal rod.
Decals supply cockpit floor and instrument panels, engine vents, and the ship's yellow markings, both weathered as seen on screen and fresh if you want to show a clean vessel.
This is a terrific looking kit of one of my favorite subjects, and it looks like it should be a straightforward build.
Despite how popular this next subject is and its widespread use in battlefields across the world, this is the first 1/35th scale kit of it.
From AK Interactive, it's the Toyota FJ43. This kit represents the pickup version, and there's a pintle mount for a DShKM machine gun in the bed.
The frame is a single part, including the cross members. Suspension and drivetrain detail includes sharply molded leaf springs, live axles front and rear, drive shafts with transfer case, shocks, and exhaust. The motor in this curbside kit is represented by a part with a sump and transmission. Beautifully molded wheels fit in two styles of tire.
The body comprises sides, hood and front end, floor and optional windshield, firewall, fenders, running boards, tailgate, bed, bumpers, and stowage boxes. Interior detail includes seats, dashboard, steering wheel, shifters, and pedals. Small details like windshield wipers are finely molded.
An optional roll bar can be fitted to the bed where the pintle mount fits for the DShKM 12.7mm gun. Ammunition crates and boxes are given to fill the bed. A small photo-etched metal fret provides details for the gun. Clear plastic supplies the windshield and lenses for the head, tail, and turn signal lights.
Decals and color diagrams show markings for 4 Toyota Technicals, a blue truck used by guerrillas somewhere in Africa in the 1980s, a Chadian FJ43 from the Toyota War against Libya in 1987, and 2 different vehicles used by Lebanese militia in the 1980s. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the beautifully done instructions which featured clear diagrams and color callouts.
It's great to see the subject hit the market, and it opens up so many diorama possibilities.
Absolutely. Speaking of subjects that are new to injection molded plastic, let's take a look at one that I am really keen to see.
It's ICM's 1/48th scale Bristol Beaufort Mk.I.
Developed as a torpedo bomber, the twin-engine plane was also used as a medium-day bomber, mine layer, and trainer in World War II.
Surface detail on airframe parts like the fuselage consists of extremely fine recessed panel lines. Fitting over spars, the wings show the same attention to detail, as do the stabilizers. The rudder, elevators, ailerons, and flaps are separate.
Complementing framing molded in the fuselage halves, interior detail includes floors for the cockpit and gunner's positions, separated by a bulkhead. A wall molded with one of the wing spars divides the cockpit from the radio operator's compartment with a seat and table. A console with throttle quadrant supports the instrument panel and separates the navigator bombardier's position from the cockpit, which is finished by the pilot seat and controls. The turret completes the crew accommodations.
The engine nacelles house the main gear bays and mount the Hercules engines with intake manifolds and exhaust collectors. The cowls have separate flaps. The bomb bay can be fitted with a torpedo. A cart is provided if you want to pose it off the model, and optional doors allow the bay to be posed open or closed.
Clear parts provide the cockpit, nose, and turret glazings, side windows, and lights. The instructions give templates to create masks for all that glass.
Decals and color diagrams supply markings for 5 British bombers, one from late 1939, 3 number 22 squadron birds in summer 1940, December 1940, and April 1941, and finally a number 217 squadron plane in autumn 1941.
This is an exciting release of an important aircraft. I'm hoping that ICM will produce one with twin Wasp engines as built for the Royal Australian Air Force. Hint, hint.
The Volkswagen van or bus is an icon of automotive history and it has an instantly recognizable shape.
Now, thanks to Revell Germany, you can build the T2 version of the vehicle.
Part of the company's EasyClick system lineup, this kit should appeal to experienced modelers and newcomers alike.
Molded in stunning orange plastic, the body features panel outlines, a separate front end, roof, doors, sliding side door, rear hatch, engine cover, and firewall.
The engine cover reveals a facsimile of the engine top, including plumbing. Underneath, more of the engine and the transmission, clasp the rear axle and suspension. That and the steerable front suspension get wheels and solid rubber tires.
Inside, the floor gets seats with separate supports, a wall between the cab and the rear, dashboard and controls. There's detail molded inside the doors, and those are movable.
Except for the windshield, the windows click in from inside. Lights are included on the clear tree. Chrome-plated parts supply hubcaps, light bezels, mirrors, and the VW logo.
In a nod to accessibility, the kit includes stickers and waterslide decals. Both feature instrument faces, bumper trim, vents, mudflap logos, badges, and both European and American license plates. The waterslide decals alone offer white stripes for the tires. The parts click or press into place with relative ease, although the instructions are a little vague about part placement. But it does build into a nice-looking replica, as you can see by this one built by Michelle Lipinski.
In 2018, Academy released a new toolkit of the Panther Ausf.G in 1/35th scale. You can see our NPRD preview or read our Workbench review in the links in the description.
Now, the Korean company has followed up with one of the vehicles based on that tank, a 1/35th scale Jagdpanther G1.
Much of the kit remains the same, notably the lower hull, suspension and road wheels, and link and length tracks.
New here are the upper hull with casemate sides, front, and rear molded in place. There are louvers and fans on the engine deck and torch cuts and weld seams between the plates. The top of the fighting compartment has separate hatches, and there are plastic grills and photo-etched metal screens for the engine openings. The one-piece main gun gets fitted with a slide-molded muzzle brake and fits into a cast mantlet in its opening.
Decals and color diagrams show markings for 4 Jagdpanthers, 2 from the same unit in Normandy in summer 1944, another in Germany in September 1944, and 1 in Belgium in September 1944.
Another great offering from Academy that should be pretty easy to build and be a lot of fun to camouflage.
AMT continues to thrive off its Hot Wheels licensing, with these 4 kits being the latest in the range.
2 of them are simple Snap-It kits that would be perfect for introducing kids or other newcomers into the hobby.
The first of these is a 1/25th scale 1996 Ford Mustang GT.
This kit originated in 1994 and got new parts in 1996. It comprises the body and front and rear bumpers molded in metallic red, a one-piece underside, and interior with separate seats and dash. Chrome-plated wheels and rubber tires join the chassis with metal rods, and screws lock the body to the chassis, which means sturdy playability. The kit includes colorful water slide decals and stickers, again a nod to the kids.
In the same vein is the 1/25th scale 1997 Dodge Viper, a kit that also premiered in 1997. Here, the body is molded in metallic blue, and there's a black underside and gray interior. This time, the rubber tires go around gold-plated wheels. More metal rods and screws lock the model together. Sharply printed stickers and decals give racing stripes and numbers.
Stepping up from the snap kits is the 1/25th scale Opel GT, a kit that's been in the AMT catalog since the late 1960s. This glue kit has both Opel and Buick engines, separate drivetrain parts, a roll bar, optional hoods, wheels, and pad-printed tires allow it to be built as either stock, street rod, or custom. It even features turn metal fuel injection ram tubes for the engine. The body, interior, and underside are all molded in white, so you'll need to paint. But once again, the Hot Wheels inspired markings are given as both waterslide decals and stickers.
Finally, here's the 1/25th scale 1932 Ford Phantom Vicky, a kit that dates to 1999 and has only been issued a couple of times. It features a body with separate roof and hood, detailed frame, drivetrain and engine, good interior, and chrome-plated wheels, grille, exhausts, lights, windshield, and more. Flame decals and Hot Wheels logos are available in both waterslide decals and stickers.
These kits run the gamut of modeling difficulty, but they capture the fun that is the hobby.
Next, we'll take a look at HobbyBoss's 1/72nd scale Scud missile launcher.
Formally, this thing is known as the Soviet 9P-117 M1 launcher with R-17 rocket of 9K-72 missile complex Elbrus.
The launcher comprises a frame with molded drive shafts and suspension arms, some engine detail with transfer cases, wheels, and rubber tires.
The cab has separate inner walls and floors that get seats. The center control cab is detailed with control panels, seats, and the roof. Between the cab and the control section is a detailed machinery deck covered by a well-molded shell.
The cradle for the launcher is mostly molded as a single part, and there is a separate blast deflector, above which sits the missile with fine surface details. The cradle is designed to elevate. Clear parts provide windows for the crew sections.
Decals supply warning placards, faces for equipment banks, and markings for 4 launchers. A Czech vehicle in overall green, an Afghan Army truck from 2005 in 4-color camo, and a pair of Iraqi launchers, one from the Gulf War, the other from the Iran-Iraq War.
This is a neat vehicle and definitely a manageable size in this scale.
From Italeri, we have a 1/24 scale Ford Escort GR2 marked for the Zakspeed racing team.
This kit started life as an Eschi release in 1979 and has been reissued several times as a rally car. This is the first time in probably 30 years that the touring car version has been seen.
The body, hood, and front spoiler are all molded in blue. A full engine is featured with block halves, sump, valve covers, intake manifold, and exhaust.
Detail underneath the car includes rear axle and drive shaft, leaf springs and front suspension and exhaust. Disc brakes mount inside the wheels that get wrapped in rubber racing slicks.
Inside the car, there's a roll bar, bucket seats, sides, dashboard, and controls. Clear plastic supplies window glass and light lenses.
Cartograph decals supply the stripes, race numbers, and sponsor stickers for 2 Zakspeed cars. All you will need to do is paint the body black.
I think the Escort is a great looking car, and this kit should produce a nice looking model with a little work.
Our final kit this time is Revell Germany's 1/48th scale Horten Go229 A.
This is the first time this kit has appeared under the Revell label, but it originated as a Dragon kit in 1992.
It was good then and still looks good today with fine recessed panel lines and airfoil contoured control surface outlines. The center body, housing the engines and cockpit, is split horizontally and has sharp trailing edges.
The jet power plants can be left exposed, and the kit supplies plumbing and other details. The cockpit has frames for the instrument panel and controls, and the seat. Landing gear legs and wheels finish the plane.
The windshield and canopy sliding section are separate, and the clear parts supply lights. A small photo-etched metal fret supplies landing gear details and tie-downs as well as buckles to detail a harness that the instructions give templates to make from paper or tape.
Nicely printed decals provide the instrument panel dials, airframe stencils, and 2 aircraft in different camo patterns.
This is a really nice model of an aircraft that, despite never seeing service, is still really popular.
Indeed. Now, keep your eyes peeled for reviews of the Razor Crest, Toyota, Beaufort, Escort, Scud Launcher, and Jagdpanther at FineScale.com.
And while you're there, don't forget to enter our Build a Model Month contest. We'll link it in the description below, so there's no excuse for you not to enter your model for a chance to win cash and be featured on the cover of FineScale Modeler magazine.
We want to see your models. And stop by CombatHobbyStore.com to pick up this nice metal sign that is certain to class up your workshop.
Thanks for watching. I'm Kendra.
I'm Aaron. We'll see you guys next time. No, we will not have any bloopers. Every time you say that, it sounds like B.O. I swear to God. We are good for B.O. What? I swear I put deodorant on this morning.
All right, we are rolling for voiceover.
We are holding this kid for ransom. Send us $1 million.
You don't know what's coming to you. You have my kit.
It sounds like the Star Wars warning thing.
This is only a test.
If this had been a true emergency, you would have seen Kendra and Aaron running from the room screaming, "Ah!" Ford Escort. Escort go!
Yeah, I was gonna say Escort go. My brain is starting to malfunction. Let's go.
Let's get excited, because we want your models
Your models.
in BAMM.
You get a model, you get a model, you get a model. Yeah.